I want to begin by saying thank you, of course, for volunteering to help run an Ethics Cup tournament. The Ethics Cup runs almost entirely on the labor of volunteers. It simply would not be possible without people like you volunteering your time and devoting yourselves to this project, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to begin by giving you a primer about how Ethics Cup matches work so that you understand what you're going to be dealing with as a timekeeper. Each Ethics Cup match pits two teams against each other. Each team is to be composed of 3 to 5 students. It's a match of two halves. In the first half, there is one case being discussed, and in the second half, a different case is being discussed. Both cases are drawn from what's called the case set. This is a PDF of several cases, several sort of topics of ethical discussion. This PDF will have been published online months ahead of time for the students to study and develop their positions. However, in the context of a match, it is a surprise to everybody in the room, except the timekeeper, which cases are actually going to be plucked from that case set to be used in that match. So again, there's lots of matches in the case set, but only 2 of them to be discussed in any given match. And which 2 from the case set, that's a surprise. Every match has a 3-judge panel to determine scores. So there will be 3 people in the room with you who will be writing down scores and interacting with the students during the dialogue period. As far as their scores and how those scores are to be tabulated and related back to the teams at the end of the match, I'm going to come back to that at the end of the video. In this upcoming clip, you're going to see what a match room actually looks like, what the layout of it is. So you'll see that the case being discussed at any point during the match will be projected on a screen. And you'll see that there will be 2 adjacent tables. And that's because the way the match room is supposed to be set up is that each team has its own table. So take a look at this. As a timekeeper, you have several jobs, and I'm going to run through them now. Your first job is to get the match started. In this upcoming video clip, you'll see a timekeeper getting a match started. So he's going to issue a welcome. He's going to introduce the judges to the students. And then he's going to do a coin toss. You have to do a coin toss at the beginning of every match to determine which team is Team A and which team is Team B. Team A, whichever team ends up being Team A, is the one that will do most of the talking for the first half of the match, and Team B will do most of the talking for the second half of the match. Once the coin toss is done, what you're going to see is that the timekeeper announces the title of the case, distributes hard copies of the case to the students, and reads out the study questions from that case. So each case is a few paragraphs of prose explaining an ethical issue, followed by some study questions. And as timekeeper, your job is to read just the study questions, not the rest of it. So take a look at this clip.
Okay, I think we should go ahead and get started. Welcome to the championship round. My name is Dr. Theron Plummer. I'm the director of the Center for Ethics, Philosophy, and Public Affairs here. I'm going to do a coin toss to determine who chooses whether they're Team A or Team B. Okay, so you're closest, so you can say heads or tails.
Heads.
Okay. It is heads. Would you like to be Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B. So the topic is Me Too. Okay, so I'm not going to read this entire thing out. Many of you are already familiar with the first bit. I'm just going to read quickly the study questions. Do ordinary members of the public have an obligation?
Once you have started the match, your job is to move the match through its phases, keeping time as you go. So each half of the match involves several distinct phases. And your job is to, at any given point when a new phase is to start, to announce that that phase is starting, announce that there's going to be a certain time limit to it and that you're going to start the timer for that phase. And then as the phase goes on, you need to give periodic time warnings so that the students know when they're running out of time. When a certain phase has come to an end, when a team has run out of time for that phase, your job is to cut them off. So in this upcoming series of clips, what you're going to see is a timekeeper starting what's known as the conferral period. You'll see the timekeeper, you'll hear the timekeeper jumping in and giving a time warning. And then you'll hear a different timekeeper from a different match interrupting a student at the end of a period. That is something you will have to do from time to time. You will actually have to jump in and interrupt students. So you'll see that happening in this clip.
Now Team A, which is you down here, you are going to have 2 minutes to confer while Team B is silent, and your time starts now.
Do you think, again, there's a gender point here? Do you think if the professional associate of somebody accused of this behaviour is a woman, that puts them in any kind of different position?
About 2 minutes left.
I think the choice.
Translate it into our society as the right to welcome the burqa as an item of self-expression. I think is not helpful to that effort of integration.
Sorry, we're out of time.
We've almost reached the end of this training video. I just want to offer some final bits of information about your job. Other than taking the match through its phases, which is what we've covered so far, obviously your job as timekeeper involves enforcing the rules. There is a rules webpage under rules and resources on the Ethics Hub website, and you should familiarize yourself with it. There really aren't that many rules, though, and primarily there are 3 rules that you really ought to keep in mind because they're so important. One is that students are not allowed to bring any notes to the match. Once the first case has been announced, they're allowed to download everything from their brain they may have memorized. That's fine. But before that time, if they have sheets of paper in front of them, those sheets have to be blank. Secondly, once you've announced the first case, the teams are locked in. No further team members may be added to any team that's competing in the match that you're supervising. And then finally, you just need to think of yourself as being in charge of the room. Anything that is not covered by the rules, you have to make a decision. And with respect to all the rules, be firm and be fair. The final thing is what to do at the end of the match. So congratulations, you've taken the match through all of its phases, including the very last one. What happens now is that you give the judges a little bit of time to check their marks, to make sure they're happy with them, add them all up, and write comments on the reverse side of the score sheet. If at any point when a judge is finished, it's your job to take a look at the score sheet and make sure that they have done their scoring correctly. Specifically, you need to check their maths. Actually add up everything that they've just added up to make sure that what you've gotten is what they've gotten. Once you're aware of all the scores that the judges have decided to award, then you're ready to close the match. Now, if the match that you're the timekeeper for is a group stage match, then the match has no winner. Rather, each team simply gets a point total. That point total is the sum of each of the 3 point totals awarded to them by the judges. So you just announce, Team A got this many points, Team B got this many points. Thanks very much, you're free to go. In the knockout stage of a tournament, that's not how it works. In the knockout stage of a tournament, each judge gets a vote, and their vote automatically goes to whichever team they've awarded more points to. So, knowing how many points they've awarded to each team, it's very straightforward to know which team they're awarding their vote to. So then at the end of the match, when you announce each judge's scores, you also translate that for the audience, say, well, that means that their vote goes to this team. And then once it's been, you should try to order those announcements for dramatic effect, so you will know if it's a 2-1 split in the votes. If it is, try to make it so that the last vote you announce is the one that breaks the tie. So you're going to announce each judge's vote, and then you'll close the match by saying, by a score of whatever it is, 3-0, 2-1, this match has been won by, and then of course name the team. In all cases, whether it's a group stage match or a knockout stage match, you want to give each judge the opportunity to explain how they came up with their scores. Just make a few comments highlighting the particularly important things that led them to give each team the overall score that they did. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank you, of course, for volunteering to be a timekeeper for the Ethics Cup.